Morning. I suppose my hair needs to be back. I did grab a hair tie in preparation of that, but then I was talking to a friend about the direct. He was like, what are you most excited for? And I was like, big walk. And he's like, I didn't see that one. And I was like, okay. Oh. How about them cans? Yeah, we won last night. Which was great. We need to win one more time and then we win the Stanley Cup. Oh no! Where'd it go? I felt it. I just hit my mic. My nail polish popped off. Look at this. Is it in my hair? Where did I lose it? When? I thought I felt it, but it was actually my middle finger. Maybe I lost it earlier. This, the polish I have on is Rainbow Snow, which is a very, very chunky glitter. And I find that those tend to not stick to my nails as much. I've had a lot of trouble with this manicure. I kept messing up the thumb, my right thumb, as it was drying by putting it into literally everything. And now I can't get my hair back. This may have to just be good enough. It may just have to kind of be a mess. That's fine. I just don't want to get paint on it. And that's really all that matters, isn't it? Is it not your usual No, it's all my usual stuff. Oh, that's not centered. So, whatever. We're done. We're done with this. I was looking at this. I also had to move everything around because I just took photos of the sapling. That's in my office. That's where I do my eBay shots. I took photos for the sapling piece for Redbubble, and then I moved it to my office and did the eBay pictures. And I move all the lights, and I also move the camera. So, also it's warm in here today. So I had to move all that back, and I was looking at the painting, and I was like, this is crooked. Shoot. So what it is basically just the cap. I did it pretty level, and in the photo it's a little tilted. And I don't like this levelness to it, because I'm looking at it and I'm like, doesn't seem right. Something doesn't seem right. So I looked at the photo, and then I was like, this side needs to come up, and this side needs to go down. Otherwise, it's pretty much set. The top part probably is a bit tall, I think, too. I think it's not quite as pointy. And so then I was looking at all the background, and I was like, that is also crooked. But it's fine, because that part is all blurry, and you can't tell anyway. So I'm going to leave that alone, and that's fine, but I do want to fix the cap. I also think that this is probably too thin now that I look at it, the stem or stalk of the mushroom. I think it needs to be a little wider. That's fine, that's easy to do. But otherwise, I'm gonna leave the background as is, even though, like I said, like this is up too high and like everything kind of needs to come down. We're just going to fix the cap. Just hang the picture at an angle. Beautiful, it's fixed. Perfect. No one will ever know. Many of us wouldn't notice because we're not looking at the picture. True. But it doesn't, aesthetically, when I look at it, I'm like, it needs to, I can live with the background not being right. But the mushroom cap, I'm like, no, I don't like this. Gotta fix it. Yeah, it is warm in here today. It's warm outside. All right, so we're gonna be working on this. We're gonna fix the cap, that won't take that long, and then we're gonna go back to doing background detail. And I have a really good base. I'm really happy with how it looks, other than the fact that it's also crooked, but that doesn't matter. Really good base to work from, and we're just gonna kind of work through burnt umber shades, values of burnt umber, and do like all of the brown. Because when I do the highlights in the background, I'm gonna do those a little bit bokeh because it's all blurry. So we're gonna kind of work back and forth. How's the foot? The foot is fine. It feels like a bruise. Like, you know, if you have a bruise and like you poke it and you're like, that kind of hurts, I shouldn't do that. That's kind of how the foot feels. But like if I'm not walking, it feels fine. But it's better because like I went to the grocery store, I also went to Costco and walked around Costco, and that was all fine. I need to get a new nib for this as well for today. It is getting better. I am not concerned that there is going to be long-term problems. I have a bruise on my leg from about the same time period, so I know that by the time that heals, like, my foot's probably fine by then. 100-mile bike ride is just around the corner, Slick Duke says. What's the temp in Raleigh today? Hot. So hot that Chaz went for his morning run and said, I know you were planning on an afternoon bike ride today. Maybe don't. I was like, you speak the truth. As always. And yet you will. It'd be really good for my heat training. We also probably need to fill this with paint. Where can I set this so it doesn't fall over? Instead, I'll go for a Sunday bike ride when it's probably going to be just as hot, because welcome to North Carolina in the summer. All right, we have a 39-month resub from Gold Mage, a 21-month resub from Chaz, who says, thanks to WeWin for my ongoing sub gift. Thank you for continuing to give Chaz a subscription to my channel. I appreciate that a lot. I know he does as well. Chaz is going to come over to make sure you don't bike. Chaz was like, hey. No one tell her it's still spring. Only for another, like, 10 days, is it? You could do it near sunset. But there's Hitman tonight. We have a 38-month resub from Brina BX and 33 months from Charlotte Dante, who says, for those who come after. Noah, mod of the channel and good friend Noah, is currently playing through Clair Obscur, actually, so I've had to refresh all of my memory of that game as he plays through it. Alright, Liquid White, where are you? There you are. Probably the open one first. And I can't ride Sunday night because the Hurricanes won last night, and Sunday is the next hockey game. And there's word of going to a watch party with the bike friends who are into hockey. Alright, where did I put the... Here. This might be empty. Yes, this is totally empty. Well, let's get the marble out of that in a second. Maybe get it out and put it in this one. Don't fall over. Would Steven be going? I don't think so, because of how it is organized. What do I need this? Give marble. marble. There we go. And empty bottle. Slowly putting this back together. Hot chocolate and a donut. Poku cow, that sounds amazing. I had a chicken pita sandwich and coffee. Uh-oh, don't spill paint. I need a better spot for this. Where can you go? Let's move this coffee cup back. I think we might be having breakfast for dinner tonight. Have they always sealed these with a cap? I might need to take a razor blade to this. Sometimes I think their heat presses are too good. Meals can be had any time of day. I was hoping to avoid that. I feel like every other year or so I get in the mood to do pour paintings again, where we do the liquid paint and pour it on a canvas, and we're starting to get there. I think about it because I had bought some silicone oil to do those bloom effects, and I didn't use it much. And I'm like, maybe it's time to do those again soon. Eagerly awaiting the next pour paintings? Yeah. Maybe we'll... Wait, I don't have tabletop set up. Maybe after we have tabletop set up. And we did make a pretty decent step into doing that recently. These tubes are conveniently clear with little like fill to here lines, but when you're refilling, you can't see it. There, that's probably the right. All right, we need this piece back. And then we need the new nib, which is here. And ideally I would soak this piece and like clean it out. We don't got time for that. And it should have no factoring on the pen nib. All right, so this is back together. And I needed this back together to fix this mushroom cap. Oh, it writes so much better. Girls be like, we needed this, and it's just changing out a marker nib. Now we gotta clean our hands though, so we don't get white paint everywhere where we are trying not to get it. All right, let's fix this mushroom cap. So if that should be there. See how this point is now up here? Why are metallic Sharpies the worst? We always store ours nib down. These I store horizontal, which may not be the way you should do it, but... I have a lot of these marker nibs for that purpose. All right, this should probably be about there. The top of it is fine for the most part. Like these points needed to like kind of come over a bit more, but the bottom is where it's really messed up. Like this needs to come down here.
A Star Ghost restores 1 heart of your energy.
300 bits from Goldmage, who says, I know it's not Monday, but I've been having trouble getting to those lately. Putting in my request for a hat-related Yote alert. Here's a Star Ghost for Chaz to have energy for it if he decides to make it. Hat randomizer. All right, like I said, I think this is too narrow. So I probably should go right. This feels pretty good. Yeah, that feels better. I like that. I know I'm drawing on top of the stem, but it helps me figure out where this should go. Much better. All right, is the zoom in the right spot? It is. That's where the mushrooms should sit. So you see how this kind of comes up and then this needs to come down? Like the whole thing just needs to go, and that's much better. Now we're gonna touch that up. All right, what do I need for that? I probably need white paint to lighten up that part. Yeah. And then we'll need to go kind of back through a few colors. That's okay. We'll work on the background while it's drying. Want sharp angled brush. Or maybe this filbert. Bird alert but hat. Ah, but bird alert is my favorite. I wish I could put video up for in the art queue. In the art queue, what's in the art queue, by the way? I forgot to check that. I have a video of a little, is it a Carolina wren? That's playing in the water outside. It's so cute. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Art queue. Oh, it's the mushroom photo. Thank you. Here's our photo. This is what we're painting. It will be those colors when we're done. But our underpainting is burnt sienna, and the burnt umber brown, dark brown color is starting to be true color. Is this titanium or zinc? It's behaving like zinc. We do have the ability to add videos to the art queue? Do we? Let me do the zoom out. Let me look at this. Are you a wren? I think you were a wren. He's so dang cute. Well, I'm pulling new color anyway. So, yeah, let me put this somewhere. I have 2 hummingbird feeders because the hummingbird nectar goes bad so quickly, and you really should be washing those pretty frequently, otherwise the hummingbirds will get sick. So I was trying to soak some of the sugar syrup out of one of them, and I had poured some water in it on the porch and let it sit. Is this gonna go? Is it too big because Discord is Discord for me? Discord. Oh wait, there it goes. It's thinking. Anyway, I poured some water in it so I could soak some of that simple syrup out. And then a few hours later, I dumped it over the back porch, and then I put some fresh one in. Like the water, just to like try and make sure that there was no sugar left. So this is like fresh, pure water that I had just poured into it. And then this little like Carolina wren popped into it and had himself a little bird bath fun time. All right, titanium white. I'm gonna find out if this was zinc or titanium. That was zinc. New public bathhouse just dropped. Oh yes, this is much better. Much more opaque. Look at that. That's what we needed. We have a 38-month resub from Lunar Pearl. The grapes emote. Man, we got some grapes from Costco the other day and they are so good. All right, let's play this bird video. Look at him. He was having such a good time. I really like the end of it when he hops in the full thing, in the front part of it. Yeah, look how cute he is. God, I loved him. I was like, I should get a bird bath. No thoughts in head, just splish splash. Isn't that what we want when it's hot out? Just splish splash. I'm starting to think the bird is my spirit animal. I too just want no thoughts, just splish splash. I don't like this brush anymore. I need a new brush. Oh, this is the brush I wanted. Angle brush. Lunar Pearl says, I cleaned out my bird bath this morning, sprayed myself with the hose intentionally to splish splash. It helped. Sometimes when I take the hose off the side of the house, when I'm washing my bike, I've turned off the water, but like there's still some pressure built up, and then it goes all over me as a splish splash, and it's great because it's hot out. That looks so much better. Imagine being a bird. You get to take free baths, not having to pay rent or for food. You can just exist, fly, take craps on cars. What a life. Birds are great. All right, so we did that. Now we need sienna, which we have a good amount of. I take that back. We're gonna go back to the zinc white and do the underside of the cap. Because we don't need that to be solid. That part's not as bright anyway. Much happier with the placement of all of this. The highest temp in Twin Cities is 78. I did get a photo of Jordan this morning. She's so dang cute. And I thought, maybe I could go up there for a bit where it's cooler and I get to see her and hang out with her. That would be great. We should let that dry. We should work around it. Like so. We have a 13-month resub from Tech Absol. Good morning, welcome in. We are painting. That all needs to be darkened, so let's start by just filling it in solid sienna before we add burnt umber to it. Sub 80 and rainy, sign me up. It does sound nice. It sounds so nice. We have a 36-month resub from Anise. Good morning, Anise. Thank you for hitting 3 years. I suppose it's not morning there. I bet you'd love it here. Rainy and cloudy for days, below 60. Okay, now we can go back to this color. This is the bad brush. We want this brush. Personally, I'm miserable. Give me sun and summer. It's June. Radio Dread, you could come here. Where it's something like over 100 with the heat index today. All right, outside of the mushroom is done. Now we gotta go back into the sienna and do the top of the mushroom where I've painted it all white. I have some glazing liquid sienna, which is probably, how transparent are we? I forgot. Medium. Didn't know how much was in this. The goal is to get rid of all of the white paint right here so we have a full underpainting again. And just like that, almost, it's like we never had to fix anything. Now it's right. I'm much happier. I'm glad I did that because it's been bothering me. Ever since I noticed it, I was like, no, not good. We must fix that. Let's go back to my photo. There's my photo. So I'm working with burnt umber and titanium white. I should probably put a little bit of green on my palette. What green do I want to do for this? Jenkins? It's a pretty cool toned photo. Let me look at Jenkins. I feel like I've been unhappy with all of the greens lately. They all feel wrong. This is my blue box. Let's go to the green box. Like, Phthalo's been just so overwhelming lately. And, like, Phthalo is an overwhelming color, but I don't like it. And then let's try everyone's favorite green. So this is Jenkins. This is some Jenkins with white. Which feels pretty good. Renee, we need Hooker green back. It never steers us wrong. That's everyone's favorite green. That's what we're going to try next. All right, this is Hooker's. Let's make it the same brightness as this one though. The same tint rather. Yeah, it's a dang good green. Let's go with it. I have a fresh tube of it too. Hi Noah. I thought this was a family-friendly stream. How's Claire Obscure? Is it going well? Sap green is my favorite personally, not for this painting. Yeah, sap green's a lot more yellow, and this painting's a lot cooler in tone. Like, there's some, like, yellows and tans in here, but everything else is very cool. We have a 38-month resub from Kenwood Noob. Good morning. Welcome in. We are painting mushroom painting. Okay, so I have titanium white, I have Hooker's green. I need to move all of this Jenkins out of the way so we don't accidentally use it. And I don't have much on my palette of these three colors, but that's okay. Where do I want to start? I think I want to start here and kind of work my way this way. And by the time I get like down here, I can start here and then work my way this way. Someone is cranking the music outside next door somewhere. All right, so this needs to move. It is in my way. Crank up the jam. I just hear do, 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 do. I also think I want this closer, like in my lap, so I'm not constantly rotating back and forth. These and move that. Get rid of this one. Grab a palette. Like, this is my palette right now. What we're doing is we're just taking this color and this white, and then we have a little bit of Hooker's green if we want to make things slightly greener. And we're just kind of going back and forth and filling in detail. I also feel like I should be using maybe a bigger brush, maybe a softer brush. We can always switch. Right now I'm just trying to determine if this is giving me the right mark making I want. Like, there's a little bit of extra white on the brush, and I don't want it quite that bright, so we're just going to kind of scrub it in and blend it into the rest of it. I can always darken things later if I find that it's not dark enough, or I can lighten them too. My goal is to just kind of work fast and loose and messy, and then make adjustments later, and try to stick to some more basic colors. So I'm not constantly mixing crazy stuff trying to figure out what I did. So if I zoom in, like, this tree is already almost done. I don't particularly love this green, how it's going right here, but that's okay. We need to blend it in. But there is like some moss right in here. Good vibes, Jet Jet. We might need to bring in a little bit of sap green. It's a little bit warmer in some of these spots. It's also really intense. Like I should get some red and tone this down intense. What do I want to tone this down with? Alizarin? No, that's cool and that's cool. We need a warmer red. Pyrrole? Maybe Cad Hue? 'Cause I don't feel like using actual Cad today. Yes. Oh, that's so much better. Okay. Pyrrole it is. No, we still need some sap green. I have a feeling I'm going to work on this for a bit. And then once I get this tree set, I think I'll feel like I have the technique I want down. Okay. That's looking way better. We just need to darken up a little bit more and make it blurry. It's going to set the tone for the whole piece to get the first one right, because it's going to be my guidelines for everything else. So that's why it's important. That's too bright. The hard thing is we start to get into this background, which is all just blobs of color. And it's still some of these same colors, right? It's stuff I have on my palette. And it's sometimes frustrating with acrylics because you put down color and then it's immediately dry. It's like, no, don't do that. I needed you to stay a little bit more wet for just a little bit longer so I could put more blobs of color down. If I mixed in the slow dry, it might help, but I'm not. I could also probably switch to open titanium white, which stays wet longer. Let's see. Let's do a little bit of Hooker's Green on some of these shadows. Where there's a little bit of it coming in. And maybe mix a little bit with Pyrrole because, like I said, it's way too intense. I could also probably grab a little bit of glazing liquid and just keep reaching for that. All right, zoom in there. It's starting to come together in the background. It's hard to paint blurry sometimes because it's like you're wondering if your eyes aren't focusing or what is going on. Now I'm gonna move up and do this section. But it's getting faster because I'm starting to see what I need to do. I'm giving myself a little map. One of the problems is, like I said, the paint keeps drying out. How am I feeling progress-wise? I expected this to go faster overall. I expected to do the underpainting and then get the background blocked in. And that's not how it's working at all, is it? There's ways I could paint this faster. And I probably should take them. Like, for one, moving to a larger brush. Trying to keep it more loose instead of contained loose, which is what I'm doing. So I'm kind of thinking I might do that because the other thing is, do you see my palette? This is how an oil painter paints. They have all their little colors and they just like take things as they go and then they make like new little puddles of what they need and then they put it down and it doesn't dry out. But I'm having trouble with it drying out. My feed keeps going blurry, so it's kind of funny. problem I'm having is I started to do all my shadows, right? With the burnt umber. And like, they're right. I like them. But as I'm moving into my other colors, I need to kind of put it back down so I can soften the changes between them. And it's not quite working like I want it to. So my original thought had been to go back and forth with all of like just the burnt umber values. But then I was like, wait, well, this one needs to be slightly greener. And then I was adding in the green. I was like, wait, now I need more of the red. So I kept adding more colors instead of like working through all of the light burnt umber. And I'm trying to determine how I want to do that right now. And I think the answer is to take some of the green and some of the red so it's not so bright and do a glaze of where that goes. Like just where the green itself is. And that's too yellow. I don't know if this is the answer to what I need to do. And I'm thinking it's not. It doesn't feel right. This triangle's looking really great. I'm out of white paint. All right, we're switching to Golden Open for the white itself to keep that wet longer. So these are the same color. This one stays wet longer. It is a slow dry color. I don't have a full set of these. I only have, this is the only one I purchased when I buy it. I have a few others that I picked up when that art store went out of business in 2020. And I got a bunch cheap, but nothing I use regularly. Like I have it in Pyrrole Red Dark. Like I wouldn't have bought this unless it was very cheap, and it was. But this is the only one I keep on purpose to use. This song is so tense. Can't do it. The ticking is stressful. It's so stressful. There's something alluring about only having sections of the painting in color and the others just being the back painting. It's almost like you've removed the film covering the painting, or maybe kind of like stained glass. I don't know how to describe it. It's like stuff coming into focus, and because I'm working in a clockwork fashion, I think it's going to be very fun to watch like the pieces start to come in. Forgot where I was working. I'm starting to see the pieces now, and that's great. I can just sit there and like, oh, this needs to be brighter, and just scrub with a little bit of lighter brown color. Green, what green? This one. It's kind of olivey, maybe lighter. I like that. Now we can move on to the next little piece. And try and remember what we just did. And like, I can go back and be like, this needs to be brighter. So I can just take a little bit of white and just brighten that part. Or maybe there needs to be a little bit more of something with this. Okay, now how did I do it to recreate it? I think I started with a light green over the background. We can also try and do more of it at once. Let's see. Yeah, all of this is pretty light. Oops, that was way too much. Didn't blend it quite well. It's also a little too saturated. Oh. I should switch to a bigger brush for right here. This is also stressful music. Next. Stress the playlist. Doesn't that help a lot? Just to start to see that? That helps immensely. I'd like to finish this section yet today, even though we're getting to time. Just like this. I'd really love to finish that. Okay, now what do I want to do? I think medium brown. Maybe not this big of a brush, maybe slightly smaller. Maybe this one. And we're gonna stick my finger right in that green. Perfect. Maybe not this brush. Maybe back to this brush. touch grass she heard. She touched green paint instead. I should mix more of this up because I just keep running out. Where's the highlight on this tree? The left side. And this one sits in front. Probably much wider than I had originally painted it. It's magic how you paint something blurred. It's a trust the process. Like, I mean, it always is, right? But it feels like even more so sometimes with this. It feels messy, it feels like a wreck, and then you step back and you're like, oh look, surprise. So now we start building. I don't like that one. This should be a branch. This isn't a branch. It should be a branch. Do I have any more of this green? I don't. That's fine. We'll just cover it right up. This also feels like it should be brighter over here. Yeah, that helped. Back to brown. So now I'm going to switch away from the flat and move to a filbert and start to just bring in splotches of this brown. Wherever I want it to be. Because why not? I also feel like this one should be wider. Yeah, that helped. It wasn't quite right before. Does the mushroom have a name? I feel like filbert would be a good name. In honor of this brush. This is spelled F-I-L-B-E-R-T, the shape of the brush. I know it is a very specific mushroom because it's New Zealand and they have this blue mushroom, which is what it's going to be. I also feel like this should maybe come this way. Yeah. I didn't know that was the brush's name. It is a filbert brush. Keep looking at the painting and going back over the same spots instead of adding brown. Also, I should consider the top of the canvas and the side of the canvas. Now I think I want to work back into a shadow color, a darker brown. There's a fleck of dried paint. Trying to see if it's dry enough to put my hand on the canvas. I think at some point I may have to break out a darker color. At some point. Not anytime soon. The leaves on the bottom left look like marbling down here. There was something about the underpainting I did love a lot. All right, this one sits in front. And this one sits in front of this. Strangely, that shouldn't happen. No, this one should sit in front. All right, now what do I want to do? Do I want to do lighter brown or green? I think I want to do the background, like the lightest color. I probably shouldn't do it solid white yet. That is probably a mistake. Because I can always go lighter. Where's a good spot to test this? There, not dark enough. Is the zoom better? Yeah. Let's look at that for a while. I'm trying to keep it like circles because it's sort of bokeh. That's how I'm treating it. I really like this green. Let's bring some back into this. There's still a little bit of moss on some of these trees, so like this one has some moss in here. So I'm trying to bring in some of that as well. Things are looking good. And then we can just work lighter and bring in those highlights I talked about. And look at where it's brightest. I don't like this brush for this. I need something else. Maybe this one? Safe spot to put hand. I'll probably brighten some of these up. Oh, I didn't put any of the darker green in here. To fix that. I didn't do it on this side either. So see how it's starting to come together there? And then that side isn't. That's what I messed up. Messed it up and forgot to do that. Let's add some of that in. Luckily, I still had some of this green and it was still wet. That's why we like open colors. And because it does take so long to dry, that's why I haven't been able to put my hand down, because I keep just setting my hand in it. It's the reason I don't use it for all my paintings. I could switch over essentially and use only open paints, but it's not as fast with the style of how I paint. So in some respects, I think I would like it, and then in others I'd be like, eh. It's taking too long. Thank you for my nail compliment. I lost this one today. I don't know where. Maybe I lost it, like, in the night and didn't realize. I really like the chunky polish from Holo Taco. This one I just find pops off my nails fast. I do want to go lighter even than this. This brush is doing exactly what I want, but it got a little too gunked up. So I have to wash it and then get a lot of that water out. I'm not happy with these trees yet, but I'm really happy with how the background's going. This highlight part. I think it's time to go back to that tree. actually have to do up here? Okay, I need burnt umber. So I think I'm going to start with a light brown, like this is in here. Maybe mix it better. And then build these highlights in first. Maybe not with that brush. Do I have something pointier? Are you too big? Yes. Are you too small? No. This might be a smidge too bright for the first level of this. Yeah, that's better. And I'm trying to get the transition here as well while I'm doing this. it was the rubber piece scraping on the wood. And I was like, ah. I'm not liking this brown. And it's because I'm seeing a lot of the orange underneath and there's no orange here. I'm liking the green and white. I'm just not liking this brown. Why? I think because I'm having some really harsh lines and it's not looking nature, it's looking random. I think it's this guy right here, and maybe this guy too. That helps. Just getting rid of that harsh line. We'll have to bring in some of the shadows again. That's okay. But it's helping make it look less sharp. Oh, we decided the other one was in front here. First it was the misaligned mushroom, now it's sharp brown. can't have sharp brown. Now where's the rest of sharp brown? Over here. Now we need even brighter brown. If you're having sharp browns, I recommend seeing a doctor. That got me good. This might be too bright. We might regret all of this. Maybe not. Sharp days when you get your ears pierced and knives sharpened. It's been a while since I've had my knife sharpened. I need to do that. I think this brush is not soft enough. We need something softer. Maybe this one? And lastly, I think I want to bring in a little bit more of the shadow, because I did paint over it some. And that will be that. I don't know if I like this brush. I can't seem to find a brush I like. Everything is not working. This one I let soak in water accidentally, so it's not straight. Like, it has this curve to it. It's a really, really old, really cheap brush. That part ended up really burnt sienna. I think I just forgot to put other colors there. Let's check the sides, and then I see one green highlight spot I want to bring back in. Okay, green highlight spot. Unfortunately, all of the green is totally dry. This part I still don't like, so we're going to fix that. I think I need to leave it alone for today, but I think it looks good. let me make some notes and we'll talk about what's coming up. And then we're gonna go get some water because I need some. I shouldn't use white because I'm gonna put it in the sketchbook. All right, notes. Greens are sap, hookers, and pyrrole. Browns are burnt umber, and that's kind of it. And titanium white open because we need it to be slow drying. Those are my notes. I'm excited to step back from this because my little OBS preview looks pretty good. So my plan for next time is to do like this chunk, and like that's not going to be all. My hope is that I kind of get like this chunk and then obviously this chunk so that the whole like top half is done. So like besides the mushroom here up. That's what I definitely want to get done next week. And then from here down, if we can get started on it, that would be ideal. If we can get done with it, that would be even better. Sorry, this needs to do that. I got a little lost. All right, let's talk about the things that are coming up. We can also do a zoom in. I'll do it in a second. Tonight on Steven's channel is Hitman. We should do better this week because it hasn't been like 3 weeks since we played. I'm waiting on Dan to get me the file for the sapling piece because I have Redbubble ready to go. I have eBay ready to go. I should do the thumbnail so then I just need the video. So that will be coming out soon. I'm hoping this weekend. I'll believe you when I see it. eBay actually emailed me and they're like, hey, you know you have a listing that's under drafts that's not done, so like maybe do it. And I'm like, I know, I can't yet. Monday night will be Ghost of Yote. It's been going well. I can see that we're getting near the end of the game unless there's some secret hidden thing, and don't tell me if there is. Because our skill tree is getting totally filled out. Also, I feel like they added something, DLC, I think it might be multiplayer. Maybe we'll subject Steven to that for a little bit. eBay tapping the sign. Yeah, eBay's been like, hey, please maybe post this. And that's as far as I know. Do I have any ideas for what to play after Yote? Steven had an idea for me and I've since forgotten what it was. Legends, it's multiplayer but can be single? Okay. Is it just fighting? There's my bangs. That would be my guess. It was like dueling. As you all know, I'm really, really great at that. It feels like some weeks I do amazing, and some weeks I'm like, wait, how do we play this game? I keep forgetting how to pick up item and throw item. All the time. How do I throw kunai? There's so many buttons. Make Steven fight a bear. Alright. Thanks everyone for being here for the long painting stream, but I feel like things are going well. They're coming together on the painting. I hope to see you all tonight for Hitman. I'm gonna go deal with the thing and then probably go do an indoor bike ride because it's too hot. I hope you find your lost index nail polish. I'll probably just remove it. Maybe I'll put on Hurricane's colors in time for the game Sunday. Maybe. We'll see. All right, have a good rest of your Friday, and I hope to see you tonight for Hitman.